Hi guys, we love you. Chris Watts. More updates and information. Nicole Googled Shannon Watts if she was married or not. Apparently, Shannon said things to her friends or family. She didn't feel safe. Nicole Googled. This is what she Googled. And there's more that she Googled. You know, uh, I'm having an affair with a married man. How much child support will he have to pay? Hmm. This woman sure had the hots for Chris Watts, let me tell you. Sure had the hots for him, 'cause you know she's been seeing him for a long time. This ain't no rendezvous. This ain't no like 1 month's worth, even eight weeks. When the 8 weeks, she said she wasn't really seeing him. It's only July. That was her story, and she was sticking to it. So I'm thinking, as Shannon didn't struggle, as they say she did not, the sheet. I'm thinking about the sheet. The sheet she was wrapped in. Well, this all happened in the bed. Chris Watts was apparently supposed to be sleeping in another room, in the basement or something. I don't know where he was sleeping because, all the rooms upstairs were taken. So, if he had a bed, it had to have been somewhere else. Because if anybody knows where exactly this bed was he's supposed to be sleeping in that was uncomfortable, you just comment below. I was thinking that she didn't struggle. Did he kind of wrap her up like a mummy so she couldn't move her hands, her arms? I mean, he would have had to done it so fast. Maybe he said, "Yeah, honey, let's talk, let's talk." And he got in the bed and they were talking, and suddenly he wrapped her up so tight she couldn't hardly move. So that could have happened that way. He could have wrapped her up in the sheet so she couldn't struggle. So that could be another thought of the how. But one thing that I was thinking of about the plea deal, because this is what the DA or whoever was talking about it, part of his plea deal, or maybe it wasn't part of his plea deal. I'm confused now. But remember when they said all evidence is going to be destroyed? All evidence is going to be destroyed. Okay? So that might have been part of the plea deal, why he didn't want a trial, so no information would come out. So he, instead of going to trial, he'll plead guilty to everything because he didn't want information coming out. He didn't want for them to tell the story. So the plea deal was destroy all evidence. Well, as we know, the evidence wasn't destroyed, and it was released as soon as he was sentenced. Now, was Chris Watts punked again? Really? Was he? I'd like to know if that was part of his deal, was to keep all the information sealed and destroyed, which it was not. So if anybody knows if that was part of his plea deal, somebody has broken that deal. I'm just saying, it's just a thought. It's coming into my head. He did make a deal. He did make a deal. So, that deal was broken because all the evidence was released anyway. It didn't matter. So, that's why they wanted to make it so swift and quick. He didn't want nothing coming out. So, Nichol, in her Texas, and there's many Texas that she erased. Many, 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 many. I crave for you, she says. And then, phone calls or texts from them. I love you. Somebody's saying, I love you. Oh, now it's love, is it? It's love. Yeah. But you know what? Nichol tells a different story, don't she? She tells a complete different story. She said she'll come on that Denver News and have a little press meeting, and she'll come and clear her name. What the hell's wrong with this woman? Don't she realize that you can never delete anything these days? You can't delete nothing. I don't care what you do. You can try to hide it. But if you don't destroy your computer, the disk, or whatever that computer information holds, or just get rid of your computer completely, you might have a chance of them not finding it. Oh, yeah. But I guess she didn't think that far. She just thought that she could Google stuff on how to delete texts, or if the cops can find any deleted texts, can they do this and can they do that? Well, that's getting her in a lot of trouble, isn't it? Well, she ain't in trouble, I guess. But you know what? Maybe she's made a deal with the devil. Maybe she's made a deal with the devil. Maybe Chris made a deal. Chris might have said, leave her out of it and I'll plead guilty. Leave her out of it. Let her go. I'll confess to everything. Oh, yeah, there could have been a few deals made in that plea deal. Oh, yeah, because you know what? They loved each other. It was love. It wasn't lust. It wasn't fun. It was more than that. And it's been more than that for a long time. So, you think she's a big fat liar? Well, these people that mess around with married men, like I say, they're the devil. They'll stop at nothing to get what they want. And that's what people do. What's wrong with her? Plenty of single men out there. But like I said, she's obsessed with him. She wanted him, and she's going for it. And I don't know why people don't know he's married. He's a married man. You know, the co-workers he works with, apparently, you know, men do talk. And Chris apparently talked to him and said about his marriage or about his life. Well, they knew he had kids, but now nobody seems to know he was married at his job for all the time he was working there. Well, that can't be true. That can't be true whatsoever. His bosses knew he was married and everybody else. And they used to meet. You know, like I said before, he had to go to the office for many reasons. Lunch, breaks, you know, meet up with the guys, have a chat. He had to have done that. So that's all there was to that one. So she's just lying about it all. And we knew she was lying, and she's still lying. And she's probably hiding by now, because she wants to change her name. Oh, yeah. Now the truth has come out, and her lies were revealed. Because we know that's fact, because she's been on TV saying that. Okay, but now the facts are out. Now it's in black and white. Black and white for us to see with our own eyes. So she can stop denying. And she should be ashamed of herself and put her head down in that dirt where she belongs. I don't expect she'll be dating for a while because the next man better watch out. He better watch out, especially if he's married. Now, Shanann obviously was thinking that their marriage might work out because what she's been saying to people and friends, it's looking like she was worried about a lot of stuff, worried about her marriage, and obviously she wants to be a better wife, and she realizes that it's not worth it. And she also told Chris about his mother and all the problems they've been having. You know, the way Shanann's talking is about his mother's one big problem. One big problem to her. Now, we don't know the true story, whatever's going on with those two. It seems to have been from the get-go. The mother didn't like her from the get-go. So, you know, once you make a bad impression to your mother, that's all they're going to remember, right? Yeah. And then as she sees it, whatever's going on, she don't like it. So she's not going to like nothing. And she, you know, she hasn't changed her mind all these many years. She still kind of feels the same way. They just don't get on. And there's a lot of mother-in-laws out there. You don't get on with your mother-in-law or your father-in-law. Once they don't like you, they don't like you. So that's all there is to it. Now, while Shannon was away in North Carolina, no, not North Carolina, when she was away in Arizona, the father, Ronnie, you know, they got on the internet and they wanted to, you know, I don't know what they were doing, FaceTime. They wanted to make a video. And Ronnie asked if he could, you know, talk to the kids on the video. And I don't know what's going on here, but it was a big deal. They were both scared to make a video because Shannon would find out. What the hell's going on? You know what the problem was? Is because they didn't show up to Cece's birthday party or Bella's birthday party. They didn't show up for that. So, you know, Shannon's still mad about that. And she's still mad about the nuts. And she did say, my kids will never be in your house ever again. But Shannon wasn't going to let that drop. But she told Chris to probably have a good talk to him because she doesn't care about their family or her family at this time. She is under stress about her own marriage and her own children, and she just wants them out, out of her life in this respect. Leave us alone. Let us work this out. So she was at that point at that time. Now, Chris was booking a trip to Aspen. And this was supposed to be, this is what Chris told his wife. It was kind of like a makeup vacation for them. I don't know if they were going just for the weekend or something. It was going to be just us two. Let's just talk. Let's get away. Because Shannon, and apparently him too, because he's the one that's kissy kissy. I love you, babe. I love you, babe. And she's loving him. Love you, babe. Miss you. Miss you. And she was saying all these nice things, but he was saying that most of the time he was saying it back to her. So this is just a joke, isn't it? What, is he playing a game? Well, this was the plan, maybe. You know, be nice to her, make her think that everything is okay. Because obviously he's been doing that for months. Because remember, he said to the detective in the interview, oh yeah, when did you get separated? Oh yeah, end of March, early April. Yeah, I was separated. You still living in the same house? Yeah. So when I said before, well, one thinks they're separated in their head, and the other one don't know they're separated. Don't know they're separated whatsoever. Because, I was saying, they're going on like they're a happy family. Do you know what I mean? They're working out their problems. He's saying this and he's saying that. And obviously, he's confused his mother because he has told his mother this. He's told his mother that he's getting a divorce and they're separated. And that's why she said, well, if you're separated, why are you having another baby? Oh, yeah, Chris Watts has totally confused his mother. I don't know about his father, but he had put thoughts into his mother's head that she thought finally, he's getting out of this marriage. And then because he's getting out of this marriage, the mother ain't trying to work things out with her. Because she obviously thinks her son is trying to move away from her and get out the house. But you know what? It just comes down to, what the hell? He's just a liar too. He's starting to lie his butt off. So this trip to Aspen that he said he was booking for his wife, well, he knows that she's never going to make that trip for the following week or so, whenever he made it for. He knew that she was not even going to go on that trip. So who was going to go on the trip then? Who was going to go to Aspen with him? You know, you're making all these trips and you ain't got no money. Your cards are maxed out. And you got no money for your mortgage. And blah, blah, blah. How are you going to make a trip to Aspen? Even if it's for the weekend. You drive up there. Or how you getting up there? Okay? Hotel and all that. And they got no money. It don't make sense. Who does that? Who does that? I know he said he got like 2,000 in this bank account and 1,500 in this bank account, but still, you still ain't got no money. So you're selling the house and everything. This don't make no sense. This is why I say living above your means. I don't know. They must be living in a dream world. Both of them. With money-wise, I mean, Shannon thought it was okay for him to make that trip. Oh, yeah. You know? And now we'll talk about, as I talked in one of my videos before, you know, the doll, the picture of the doll that was covered up with a sheet. See, when I first thought about that, I wasn't sure where it happened because the couch looks like the same couch in Chris Watts' house, sort of a brown leather chair. But apparently, I suppose her mother's got the same kind of furniture. Now, this was taken by Chris Watts. Oh, yeah, we know that. It was taken by Chris Watts and sent to Shanann. And that's why on the 9th, I don't even know it was on, I think it, no, on the 9th, she put it on Facebook and showed people and said she don't know what to make about this photo. She just don't know what to make about it. You know, why would he send her a picture of a doll? Looks like a kid, you know, with a sheet on it. Well, you know what? That was just to worry her. And she was worrying about that. She couldn't make sense why he would send her a picture like that. Well, you know, it was Chris Watts' way of saying, this is what's to come. This is what's to come. But you know what? People are not putting two and two together. She's just thinking it was very strange. But you know, that was a warning sign there. It was a warning sign because as we know what we know now, that could have been a warning sign. Chris was sending her. This is what you're going to see. This is what you're going to come home to. So maybe, you know, I'm thinking the children were dead before she got home, laying in their beds. Laying in their beds. Well, I don't know if they were laying in their beds. They could have been laying on the couch, for I know. She just didn't see them. They could have been in the living room, laying on the couch. He put them to bed and then killed them and then put them on the couch. But she didn't see it when she first walked in. And there comes the emotional conversation they had. Because she finally goes to check on the kids and then wants to know where they are. That might have happened. Or she's laying in bed and she looks on the baby monitor and she must think something strange. You know, she's looking at it thinking something strange. And that's when Chris attacks her and wraps her up in the sheet so she can't struggle. He cocoons her. That's what he does. He cocoons her, wraps her up. That's why she didn't struggle, because her hands were tied or something, maybe. You know, she's trying to get her hands out. She couldn't move hardly, but that could have happened that way. That's just my opinion. It could have happened that way. I mean, there's a lot of craziness on this. And then Chris knew for sure he was having a boy. I don't know if she did a test or something while she was in North Carolina and found out, because remember, she was having a doctor's appointment on the 13th. Well, she had to have known before that. So she had found out, and that's probably, she did something when she was in North Carolina. She found out she was having a boy. And you know what? He knew he was having a boy, and people were texting him or calling him up, congratulating him, blah, 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 blah. And he's saying, oh, thanks, So, having a baby boy was obviously not enough. It was not enough. You think it might have been to change his mind, but a baby boy won't gonna stop him. So he didn't care about that baby. He didn't care about that baby whatsoever. So there's a bit more information. He really wanted a baby boy, and it just wasn't enough. He'd already made his plans. And who put these thoughts in his head? Because there's Nichol was talking to him a lot. There was phone calls. He called her on the day on the 13th. She called him. She was speaking to him for about an hour. Those messages were deleted. Chris was talking to her. He even was deleting. They were both deleting all these messages. Now, what was in these messages? There's a lot in there. What was in these phone calls? They were sure talking for a long time. And she'd been in his house many a time. You don't think she had just been in that house the 4th of July and the 14th of July or whatever it was. And she knew where Chris Watts lived. So why was she Googling the street after she knew where he lived? She Googled a lot of stuff. It's just not normal. All the things they were talking about. They love each other. Remember what she said? What she came out to clear her name? Remember all what she said? She didn't say a lot. But she's saying she didn't have nothing to do with nothing. But she didn't know that all this information was going to come out. Because you know why? You know why she came on TV or that press conference that she had undercover? Only take my picture. That's all they were allowed to do. Only take a picture of her and release the stuff in writing. Because Chris Watts had made a deal. Chris Watts pleaded guilty, so none of this evidence would ever be seen. He's covering up for her. It's just looking more like that. And that's in my opinion. Allegedly, it's in my opinion that this evidence will be destroyed. Because that's exactly what they were saying, weren't they? On TV? Wherever it was? Yeah, that was the plea deal, I bet you. But they didn't seal it all. They sure didn't. So they got their information. And let him plead guilty to everything. They trapped him into that, put thoughts in his head saying, he obviously didn't want a lot of information to come out because that was obvious. He's hiding a lot. He's hiding something. He's hiding the love for her because he said he loved her. She's saying she loves him. So he made a deal and he was punked because he was lied to. They got him. and quick, get him sentenced, quick, quick. And then after they sentence him, they come out, make their press conference. But you know what? This is, the DA's got a theory, and they're sticking to it because, you know, they probably, well, we probably know as much as they do because we got the reports out. But they have their theory of what they think happened that morning, and they're sticking to it. But that's their theory. But when it comes to the defense didn't come out and make a press conference, did they, about their client and why they made a plea deal. Why? They didn't have to say everything, but they really didn't come out. Well, they didn't come out. They didn't come out at all and make any statement. Now, a lot of lawyers do make a statement, even if it's a quick one, but they make like no comment, no comment. But they didn't even come out and do nothing. So we don't even know what their theory was and why. Come out and tell us why you couldn't defend this man. Tell us, give us some facts, why. But now we know why, because the evidence is out now. But I don't understand that. You know, if you're going to be defended, you got to have somebody that sticks up for you, no matter what, because the defense is sticking up for people that a lot of people don't like. That's their job. There's defenders and prosecutors. That's all there is to it. But they didn't come out and say one word. One word. Not even no comment. They ran the other way and went out the other door. You know, the back door. Down the back stairs and out the door. Their special getaway door. Because they do have them. They got a secret passageway. They can get out and escape. Because they didn't want to talk. I wonder why. Now I want to know why. Do you want to know why? Well, it really doesn't matter too much, but I'd like just to know on these little, the plea deal. You know, what exactly was this plea deal? Because there's more to it. That's what I'm saying. Now we know the facts. Now it's in black and white, and we're all reading it. This story gets worse. And now we got more to say about it. Now we got more suspicions. It ain't ended yet. It's not over, folks, yet. It's not over. To the fat lady sings, it's not over. Okay, guys. Thanks for stopping by. And let's discuss this video.